let me put on my, I just noticed that I was muted. So let me go right back and see what I was talking about. So welcome to the show, July 16th, 2024. Okay. And what I was talking about here is that I get a lot of questions regarding communicating with your audience, communicating with the message on how to get people to understand what you're doing, these kind of things. And usually I talk about, frameworks that allow you to put in a dream client language into the frameworks so that you can articulate what you do. And what I'm going to talk about today is a little bit of psychology, not too heavy, but going in a different route here, just to give you some more insight, to give you kind of a cheat sheet or a unlock codes to understand who you're speaking to and how to navigate the conversations. So that's what today is all about. And if my tech works, if I first of all, I had to put on my microphone, but if my tech works, then it's going to be a really cool thing. The first thing I'm going to do is go over here to Facebook and see if I could see it live here on the Facebook group. I don't see it live. But if you are live, if you're watching us live on the Facebook group, unfortunately, I can't see your questions. So I apologize if you are asking questions in the Facebook group. I still got to figure out how to get that feed so I can see the questions. So that kind of sucks. But don't worry. Either way, we're gonna get through this. So what I want to talk today about, no, not this one. See, I'm looking at the wrong thing. You see there? So we're gonna go here. Cool. The buyer types is what we're talking about. And this is how to understand your dream clients a little bit better. And I'd like to know, even if you are here right now, if you're here live or in the, let me see if this works. All right, cool. If you're here live or if you're here on the replay, let us know by hitting the hashtag live or hashtag replay if you're watching us and where you're watching us from. That'd be so cool. So the first thing I want to do is go through this, and then as you're watching this, let me know which one you are. There's 4 of them, so wait till you go through the 4 of them, and then I'd love to know which one you are. So, the 4 buyer types. They are the driver, there's the analyzer, there is the socializer, and there is the relator. And I'm going to break these down for you. So, in the driver type, a driver type is... they're very direct, they're very impatient, and they want to get straight to the point. I think I'm a driver point. When I see these, I think that I'm the driver. But they're very impatient, so you can easily pick these out. These are characteristics and traits that's going to help you identify who these people are. Secondly, they're only concerned about getting results. So if you're having somebody who's only interested in getting results, they're very impatient, they don't want to do any talking, they don't want to do any small talk or anything like that. It's because you're keeping them away from something that's really important to them. So we have to identify that and we have to respect that. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to bow down to someone who is berating you or barraging you or bombarding you, whatever the word is, with all these firing questions and want to get to the answers really, really quick. But we have to also respect it. So they don't want the big buildup. They don't want those things where they... here's who I am, here's what I'm all about, let me set this all up. I am more than likely in this category. I just want to get to the point. Like, what do you got? Tell me what it's going to do for me, and let's get moving. And the great thing about these people is that they are really a pleasure to deal with if you can demonstrate how you get them results. So when you're dealing with somebody like this, or you're seeing these type of characteristics, just be aware of them. The next one is the analyzer. And then the analyzer is all about their accuracy. They love numbers. They love details. A lot of accountants, engineers, financial people fall into this category. And you can easily detect these people because they're very task-oriented people. And they also question a lot of numbers, details. They want specifications, all that stuff of what you sell. And when you got someone who is like this, this is primarily what they're all about. It doesn't mean that they don't ask all the other stuff, but this is what they're all about. And then the way to deal with these people is to slow down what you're doing and be exact. Prepare to prove everything that you do. And there's a big thing when it comes to this, because I love the fact of slowing things down in any case whatsoever, all across the board, even in all the four buyer types. I'm not a fan of speed selling. If they're, yeah, speed selling. I'm a fan of speed of implementation, but I'm not a fan of speed selling. So I like to slow down anyway. And then they're very slow to make up their minds, which is totally cool. And if you follow my three pillars of success, if you want to call it that, or my heart-centered marketing system, the last pillar, number 3, is respect their timeline, which is it's actually slowing everything down. And number 1, by the way, if you've never heard it before, or as a reminder, is curate the tribe. Bring the right people in that you can speak to. And number 2, by the way, is serve, not sell. That doesn't mean we never sell anything. It just means that our primary role is to serve and not sell. And it's opposite for a lot of other people. You know, as soon as they get you, and you know, the low hanging fruit, or the wallet's out, or the lead is hot, that's when they're trying to sell you on stuff. And I am the opposite of that. It's like, don't worry about it. If you want to buy something right away, fantastic. But more importantly, I understand that my dream client is going to need some time to make a decision, regardless of which buyer type they fall into in these categories. So let's go back to the buyer types again and look at the socializer. The socializer is someone who is achievement oriented. They want to get somewhere. Like, doesn't mean that people don't want to get somewhere, but they want to know, how is this going to work? How is this going to work? What you're giving me is going to work. What's it going to do for me? They like talking about results and what you've accomplished. So you'll find that they're asking you a lot of questions. They're very interested in you. They're very interested in what you've done. They're warm, they're friendly, and they ask a lot of questions. So that's a really big thing. If you find yourself in a conversation like this, you're going to know exactly who you are talking to, which buyer type you're talking to. Finally, the relator. This person is someone who needs examples of how other people are using it. They love the testimonials. They'll spend time watching certain areas of whatever you're doing, like in terms of like little clips from testimonials or little clips from presentations or trainings. They want to know like how others are using it. They want to talk to other people, and they need to be liked. They worry about what other people might think. So they don't want to make a mistake. And the thing is that they like to talk a lot, and they ask a lot of questions. And then they ask a lot of questions about how you think, like, what do you think about this? And how do you feel about this? So they need advice more than anything, the relator. They don't want to make a mistake because of the second piece, which is they need to be liked. And they're worried about what other people are going to think. So if they make a mistake, they're worried about that. So that's the reason they like to talk. That's the reason they ask you about what you think. That's the reason why they ask a lot of questions. And there's nothing wrong with this, but that's the reason why. And the second thing is that we can't rush these people. They develop patience, or we need to develop patience and sensitivity. And all of these things combined, as you can see, is why it is built into my framework of the heart-centered marketing system. That's why number 3 of the pillar is respect their timeline, because most of these, except for the first one, they need a little bit of time. And so the first person is one who just wants to make that decision really quickly, but sometimes they're pushing too hard on us, and we got to be able to respond back to them, because they may make the wrong decision, which is not buy from you, based on the quickness of what you're answering. Like, how much does this cost? What is it? And then that's the only information they have. And so we have to be able to go back to them and understand, how can I explain to you why you need this? But you can't waste time with them either. So that's the difference. And I'm not sure if there's another one here. No, that was it. So those are the 4 buyer types. I'm going to go back to here again. These are the 4 buyer types. There's a driver, there's an analyzer. So which one are you? Let me know in the chat which one you are, the driver, the analyzer, or the socializer. And I think that, let me go back to here and, let's go back into play mode. That'll help. The driver is this one. This is the big one. So driver is impatient and wants to get straight to the point, only concerned about getting results, and they don't want the big build up. I'm putting my hand up for this one. I think that's me. That's where I am. And I'm really easy to deal with. If you can give me some kind of proof, I'm not looking for, yeah, it's not really proof. It's demonstrating like what you can do for me. That's super important. And it's different than really proving that you can do it for me. Just demonstrate like what's going on. Show me the frameworks. Show me something that I can put into my world, into my life. And that's the driver type, or the drive of the buyer, the driver type, buyer driver type. Yeah, it's hard to say 3 times fast. Which one are you? Let me know in the chat which one are you, and hopefully this has been helpful to you, that you can see which one of those is, or give you kind of a cheat sheet of what to use when you're communicating with people. That's all you have to do is kind of just memorize that, or maybe even just have it beside you so that when you're talking to someone you can identify, and then you can adjust yourself right into the conversation. Hey, Lorna, thanks for being here live. Appreciate you. Which, not sure which buyer type, or did you join in if you were here from the start, which buyer type you think you are. I'd love to know. If you want me to go through them again, I will. But that's how I navigate through conversations, is understanding what the mindset of the person is that I'm speaking to, and then adjusting my conversation to their understanding, to their learning type, that type of thing. And the buyer types is not something that's taught a lot. And I think that it's really important to have it as your go-to guide, or at least something that you could peek at and say, oh, okay, I'm dealing with a driver, or I'm dealing with a socializer, all that stuff. All right, cool. Thank you for being here on another show. This is a short one, short but good. I hope it was good for you. Buyer types, let me know which one you are in the chat, and I'll see you next week.